Good morning, I'm Sheriff Carmine Marcino. Thank you for being here today. I want to start by saying this. Violent criminals who have no regard for human life have no place in Lee County. Violent criminals, no matter what age, will be brought to justice. They need to understand this is a guarantee. They will feel the full weight of justice. Early Sunday morning, two elderly residents were towing their boat and starting their trip to Key West. As they approached the intersection of Milwaukee Boulevard and Homestead Road in Lehigh Acres, a car club blocked the entire intersection off and gathered to street race. At the intersection, a mob broke away from the larger group and surrounded the victim's truck and boat and began to hit, punch, and kick the vehicle. Several suspects jumped onto the truck and the boat. Our law-abiding, hard-working victims were terrorized by these thugs. Before the victims could drive away from the scene, this suspect ran up to the victim's window and fired a pistol directly into the truck. Both victims suffered gunshot wounds but were able to drive away and get medical help. We immediately started a manhunt. It is exactly that, an around-the-clock manhunt. We hunted this violent criminal. I put all hands on deck, boots on the ground. My intel unit dug into the car clubs. My violent crimes unit detectives didn't sleep until we found this danger to society. Yesterday morning, we identified 17-year-old Armando Cruz as the shooter and tracked him down at his residence in Cape Coral. Let me tell you all of his 11 charges and how serious we are. 1. Cruz is now charged with 2 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of aggravated battery, 1 count of shooting into an occupied conveyance, 1 count of discharging a firearm in public, 1 count of a juvenile with a firearm, and 1 count of occupied burglary to a boat, 1 count of aggravated rioting, possession of a firearm of a felon, and a criminal mischief. We will continue to investigate this horrendous incident, and I can assure you we are going to make more arrests. I'd like to thank the great residents of Lee County for calling in the tips to Crime Stoppers. See it, say it, make the call. It works. You should remember the name of this violent criminal because he preys on the weak and the elderly. In July of 2022, just 8 months ago, Cruz was arrested when a video showed him beating a disabled man in a wheelchair in North Fort Myers. The video surfaced on social media and we immediately arrested him. Cruz has shown his pattern of violence, a reckless disregard with no care for human life. With his criminal future clear to me, I will do everything in my power to make sure he does not see the light of day ever again. 2 additional arrests were made this morning. 19-year-old Robert Moya and 22-year-old Savon Woods were both charged with aggravated rioting after our forensics matched the fingerprints on the victim's truck. I'd like to explain something about this thorough and extensive investigation. This was an enormous investigation that was running non-stop. These investigations take time. These investigations contain critical information that sometimes we can't give out. These affect real people, and we have to be certain that we do things right, like we did here. I want you to know this type of behavior in my county makes me irate. We will not accept this behavior in Lee County. The great residents of Lee County deserve to be safe, and as your sheriff, I am responsible for law and order. We routinely increase the number of deputies on the roads when we have reason to believe these car clubs are meeting. we implemented this task force, and we are tripling the number of deputies initially assigned to it. We will arrest those who pose a danger to our residents. We will seize their vehicles. We will pursue anyone and everyone who assisted them in any way. I am very proud of the deputies and detectives and analysts and forensic crime stoppers and forensics, that especially the great residents of Lee County, for all the hard work and what they've done. All of us knew this was a disgusting act, and we did what we had to do to put them behind bars at the Marcino Motel. I'm going to be very clear. You commit a violent crime in my county, Lee County, and we will hunt you, we will arrest you, and we will put you in jail. You cannot hide as part of a mob. We will find you, and we will bring you to justice. It's that simple. I always say to the great residents of Lee County, they deserve to live with law and order in a safe and secure environment. So that being said, I've officially declared war on anyone who thinks otherwise. Again, while I'm the sheriff who delivers a message, and I realize I'm up here giving you the information that you need and want, I always say that my family members are heroes, because they are. They didn't sleep. As I briefed with them, I talked to them. They don't go to sleep. When things like this happen, they say goodbye to their husband, wives, kids, and families, and they come, and they don't think for 1 second anything other than it's to serve others before self. And I'm so proud to work with such amazing people. I'll take some questions.
Sheriff, you talk about adding more deputies to the area. How many are typically in Lehigh Acres, and how many will you be adding specifically to address this issue?
So each area has a different amount of deputies allotted to the area, okay? And that's a very complex question, because it's not just patrol deputies, it's investigators, it's the supplemental units that go with that. What we have done immediately is we started a task force. That task force is comprised of investigators, intelligence, violent crimes, major crimes, patrol, and we are going to be out in full force. We have tripled those numbers. Right now we're focusing on the Lehigh area because of what happened, but those numbers are all across our county. What I have to say is I have to thank the great residents of this county, because see it, say it, make the call. I always say that. See it, say it, make the call. There's no I in team. But the residents here support us. They want to live in safety and security. And they've been calling in tips, and that's the reason we are here standing today. So I'm not playing games, and I need you to help me get a message out. When I say war, there's a war going on, and we win. We win all the time, because that's the way it works. If any person thinks they're going to hurt one of my residents in my counties, I'm telling you right now, leave while you can. I don't want you in Lee County. 0.1% of America that steals oxygen from America, really, okay, that commit violent crimes and repeat offend. We are going to hunt you no matter where you go, and you're going to prison. Our residents are going to live in a safe, secure environment. Next question.
Are these car meetups a problem with the drag racing and everything? What have you seen?
So first of all, let's talk about the car meetups and the issues that it happens. First of all, after hurricane, the grid is very busy. We have people coming from all over to help, and we're thankful for that. You guys see the roadways. The roadways are crammed. The grids are busier than ever. So when we get calls on the car clubs, and we do, look, there are a lot of people that want to showcase their beautiful classic car or the car. It's a hobby. And we welcome that. And we want that. That's what makes everything great, right? The people we're looking at is the people that think this is mayhem. They can block intersections and do whatever they want. And then on top of that, commit violent crime. When I say zero tolerance, I'm going to be crystal clear. I won't release details, but I'm telling you right now, any person that engages in that behavior, I can guarantee you, one, we're going to identify you. We're going to use the latest and greatest technology that we have. You're not getting away. I don't care where you run to. We were going to hunt you and track you down, because you run, you can't hide. We will put an end to it. These car clubs, and there are many of them, are just peaceful. And then there's ones like this that want to block intersections and roadways and further on commit violent crime. Don't play games here. You play stupid games in Lee County, you get stupid prizes right to the Marcino Motel. Next question.
Sheriff, I was going to say there's some residents in Lehigh who feel like they aren't getting enough patrolling, and I understand Any thoughts on that?
Listen, this comes up quite often sometimes where people want to do their own incorporated city, their own police force. Overall, okay, crime has been reduced continuously in this county at a point of over 6%. Now, there's going to be a certain amount of time where you just keep reducing crime where the numbers just feasibly, you want them to go lower, but they can't go lower. And I'll say this, an incident like this is unacceptable, okay? We, the Lee County Sheriff's Office, have all the tools in place to do what we do. And of course, I understand, what do the residents do? They go online behind a keyboard and they bash the sheriff. The sheriff, it's the sheriff's fault that this happened. And I understand I'm ultimately responsible, and they put their faith and trust in me. Well, I'll tell you how serious I take it. Before I came into office, Lee County was ranked number 6 worst for violent crime. Not my numbers, independent numbers that are done by FDLE and the FBI and released. They're worldwide numbers, okay? I'm proud to say that the Lee County Sheriff's Office, Lee County, Florida, is now 3rd safest in nation when it comes to violent crime. Not because I'm the sheriff, I play a small part of that. It's because of the work of the men and women of the Sheriff's Office that those numbers, it's not by accident, it's hard work and dedication. In the end, a few people that want to incorporate, which always happens to be, you get a few naysayers, and I get it. And by the way, haters are motivators. That's how I see it. As you can see, I say it the way it is. People love what we do. We engage the community at the highest level it's ever been. The numbers don't lie. People can lie. The numbers don't lie. The numbers show and stats show that we're doing a great job, but we are always looking to do better. And I guarantee you, Lehigh is a place of focus. You know, people say crime manor. That's unacceptable. Okay, I hear Lehigh Aliyah. Unacceptable. Okay, we are going to live, and we do live, in a beautiful county. These issues that come up, while tragic, because it is tragic when someone is a pure thug and on the streets. I mean, this guy beats up a guy in a wheelchair, okay? And what is he doing? He's out here preying on 2 elderly people that are going on a trip. It's unacceptable. When I got that call, when I say irate, that's an understatement. Everything that I had, every resource that I had was deployed immediately. And by the way, hours later, he's in custody. So I asked the residents of Lee County, help me be a part of the solution. Everything you see it, say it, make the call. Tell me what's going on. Be engaged, because there is no I in team. That's the only way we win. If they want to incorporate, that's a decision they choose to do. And I guarantee you the few that are boisterous, that are pissed off at me as the sheriff, every once in a while that happens. Pretty much, you know, that's the way it works. I'm responsible for it. I take action. I'm transparent, and the numbers don't lie. We will continue to do great things because this county is great. Next question.
You said he's going to face 11 charges. Now, is he being charged as a juvenile, as an adult? You also mentioned he's 17. And then kind of as a follow-up to that, you mentioned 2 other arrests were made this morning. How many other arrests?
So right now, our suspect is being held at DJJ for 21 days. Now, I will tell you this. Our state attorney, our great state attorney, Amira Fox, does a great job. And our teammates from the state attorney's office do a great job. We are in direct contact with them. He's being charged. They will ultimately decide if they direct file as an adult, which means after the 21-day period or during the course of that period, he will be direct filed on, where he's charged in as adult. And in my book, I never want him to see the day of light. I don't. If someone is willing to shoot and kill people, in this case, attempted murder, he's no stranger. He's a thug. He steals oxygen from America. He needs to be incarcerated so he can't do that again. So I know our state attorney will do a great job. They got a great people there, great team. I praise her and their team all the time. A direct file is what we want. Furthermore, 2 more arrests. That's not the end. Okay, anyone that wants to gather and there's any type of inciting a riot or gather and assist and aid and abet what took place, they're going to jail. I mean 0 tolerance. And let me tell you, and I say that, look, the media is able to get messages out from what I say. If I get the message out, if you think you're going to commit a violent crime in Lee County, stay the hell out of my county, because I don't want you here. The great residents are going to enjoy law and order. I say, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, well, guess what? Bring it on. There's a war on, and we're not losing. Okay? You commit a violent act in this county, we're coming for you.
Has this
Sheriff,
intersection, sorry.
What's
Sheriff,
being done to keep that intersection safe? Because before there was a gentleman with a hot dog stand that was killed in that area.
So, I mean, traffic-wise or just safety and security-wise, we're going to increase, we're tripling the amount of patrols in that direct area. Again, not only just that intersection, but Lehigh. And folks, also realize, we're 1,260 square miles in Lee County, fastest growing county, or one of them, in the nation. On top of that, all the people that are here that are trying to help after the hurricane, these grids are very, very busy. The men and women of the Sheriff's Office, my family members, do such a great job. We're going to do everything we can. We're always looking to do better. We're going to increase the numbers, and we're going to make sure at the end of the day people are safe. That does not mean if we do all of that and all the above that we're immune, okay? I stand here today because we're not immune to violent crime. But one thing we do have is we're proactive, and when things happen, you can see all hands on deck. We are transparent, and we are going to make certain, look, in hours, that shooter is identified and in custody, and arrests are being made right now as we speak, and we're not going to stop. Transparency is very important. People put their trust and faith in me as the sheriff, and they're going to get 300% of me. Next question.
Do we
A
know the
message for
ages?
people who are probably afraid in Lehigh Acres to go out during these early morning hours to potentially run into something like that.
Well, there's the potential to run into something anytime you go out, but I do realize the message, look, it's a little bit different when you go out for, you know, to Publix at 3:30 in the afternoon than it is at 2:30 in the morning, right? Not because you're going to be a victim of violent crime, but the dynamics change. There's less people on the roadways. People that are on the roadways, if they're not law enforcement, maybe they're not just going to Publix. Maybe they've been out for a night of partying. Maybe God knows what they've done or didn't do. So the message is clear. Always be proactive. Always know your surroundings. And most importantly, always call things in. Look, we can patrol our areas, and we do very, very well. But the people that live in their communities, they know who belongs where. They know who lives where. When you see something that's not right, call it in immediately. We are going to be all hands on deck. And it's not only just the effort that they put my family members in, but now with the latest and greatest technology. By the way, drug money pays, bad money pays for the Real-Time Intelligence Center. We have technology in this county, and we're leading the way like no other. Okay, we had a homicide a year ago. I mean, 41 minutes after the homicide is committed, unfortunately, the guy's in custody. The suspect's in custody because of the great analysts, the tools that we have. I mean, you can't get a pizza that quick. And here we are, we're solving murders. And we see the violent crime keep going down. The crime rate keeps going down. Every once in a while, we have a very unfortunate, tragic incident, and this is what it is. But again, we own it. We're transparent. We look at it. We sit with our executive staff to think about what we can do, what can we do to be proactive and prevent it. So the residents can be safe to know that we're going to be in full force out there, but just help us be a part of that team.
Do we know the condition and the ages of the victims?
So the conditions are, the husband was shot through the neck, okay, and he is, more medical care is being, but he got taken out of ICU, which is very, very good. The wife had been shot in the arm, basically, and thank God she's okay too. So both victims have survived. One has a little more medical attention than the other, but I will tell you, my team's been in constant contact with them, and anything they need. You know, we talk about victims, you know, and sometimes we get into where there are numbers. You know, how many people did this happen to? How old was this one? What exactly happened? I look at it when I first heard, this is someone's mom or dad, someone's family member. To me, there's no price. There's nothing we can't do to protect someone's family. And again, the residents of this county. So they're doing very, very well. The follow-up, and our investigators are working with them to make sure that if they need anything, it's not only just what we do as a profession, but we are going to help them in the recovery process as well. Yeah.
Sure.
I'll take one last question.
Thank you. For this particular intersection, have you had problems with it for street racing, or are there any other hotspots that are concerning for you for street racing?
Off the top of my head, I know Alico Road get calls. There's different intersections where we get calls off McGregor. So there's sporadic calls and car clubs that come, and you know, once in a while people are, again, it's not only just street racing. People are not happy when the grid is that busy. People are not happy with traffic. When you sit in a parking lot almost and you're making very little progress, let's face it, people get anxious, they're unhappy. And then when they get that green light, what do? They step it up, they want to get to that location. So I guess overall, we're seeing the tremendous influx of people from all over in the county. But I can tell you this, what I can share with you, and there's things that I can't because there are plans in place in different ways to address these issues, but I can assure you with certainty that we are ready for everything that comes our way. The residents are going to be safe, and we will never stop because we win at the end of the day. This is unfortunate, but I can tell you also, I'm not playing games. Anyone that wants to commit a crime, you stay the hell out of Lee County because I'm not tolerating it. The great residents who put their trust and faith in me as their sheriff, okay, they will have law and order and they will be safe. There's nothing we won't do to protect them. I appreciate all you being here. Thank you.